Hello guys, and what's up? So welcome back, and here's another standard deck tech which I found from as a deck submission to the MTG Goldfish website. This is what he calls is the Mono White Reanimator. It is for the standard format, and we'll now discuss for this video the card distribution and functions as the creator intended for this deck build. So as what the name suggests, the core card here is the Invoke Justice. This is a white a sorcery spell from the Streets of New Capenna. It is basically 5 to cast with its 4 white mana cost, and it's just a 1 colorless. So return target permanent card from graveyard to the battlefield and distribute 4 +1 counters among any number of target vehicles and creatures that target player controls. So basically, just a term when we discuss the term as reanimation, we're basically bringing back any permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield by any means, whether an ability, a spell effect, or just any creature that's used to basically reanimate that card or permanent. So when I go through the deck build by checking on the creature choices of this list, first off we go with 12 true drops. Start with Luminarch Aspirant. This is just a basic pump creature for its build. So if at first look it may look like just a mono white aggro. For Aspirant, we have a Professor of Symbology searching for lesson cards by its learn ability, and also we have the 4 of Raffine's Informant. It is a 2-cast 2/1 that when it enters the battlefield it connives. That when we say connives, you draw a card and then you discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, you may put a counter on this creature. So basically it becomes a 2-cast 3/2, a 2/1 with a +1 counter whenever you discard a non-land card from its connive effect. So given it has 4 copies of each, so 12 2 drops, along with main range of a 0T card, lone copy of Reaver Modbuster. So basically you can just pump out spells. I mean, it has 3 charge counters, but removing charge counters from it, you draw a card, and having 0 charge counters, it becomes equipable. Treasure token with a pilot and a 1/1 pilot, which means that whenever I say it's a pilot creature token, it can crew vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. So basically it can create a pilot and we just screw it to attack for damage. So only 1 copy of this. This may serve as your card draw. And we have Restoration of Merganjo, 4 copies for searching for the basic planes when it's Saga, and then having to draw your card. As you discard a card, you may return target permanent card from mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So basically, in a way, you can also return one of those 2 drops mentioned, those creature 2 drops that you may have traded early on during combat, or any other effects that may place them in the graveyard. Then as you exile this Saga, you get a transform effect. This transform form is let me check if we can do the transform. Oops, forgot the copy on this. So it becomes a Architect of Restoration. It is a 3/4 vigilance that whenever it attacks or blocks, it creates a 1/1 card spirit creature token. So basically, at its efficiency, it becomes also a threat on its own by having also a defender because of its vigilance, and also gumming up the board with more 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens. Then you go back to the list after having those 4 copies of enchantment. We also have the 4 drops in terms of the Wandering Emperor. This is also given card with its ability of utility of not only having to create a 2/2 white samurai token, but also giving one of your best creatures first strike and one counter, and having to exile any relevant top threat while also gaining 2 life in the process. So 4 copies of this, and the pseudo removal effect also will have March of Underworldly Light. This is probably the most expensive March among the cycle of March in the Kamigawa set, but it also becomes a removal in its own. And by just paying X, or just you may exiling any number of white cards from your hand to make it 2 colorless less to cast for each card exiled. So exiling a relevant artifact, creature, enchantment with mana value X or less, with its function of a spot removal as a support for this deck build. Then along with it, when as I mentioned of the reanimation effects, when you get to the turn that you'll need to invoke some things, maybe you can invoke a permanent card, or invoke an emperor, or any other creature, or maybe the saga enchantment, then you can return it to battlefield, and then you can basically pump up all of your vehicles and creatures by any number, or how you would distribute these 4 plasma counters as you go along with the best distribution as possible. So not only bring up an enchantment or a permanent, but also beefing up your attackers in the process. So 2 most valuable effects giving by this card, which we thought that it was just only an expensive sorcery white spell, given its for white mana cost in its casting cost. So we now go with the Emira's Call, which is the creating 2 4/4 white angel ward tokens, but giving them non-angel creatures gain irresistible to your next turn, which is also relevant in case that your opponent would curve out to spot removal or a mass removal on their next turn. So basically, you're protecting all your dudes for a turn until you get to your next turn, and if all else would be necessary, you can just play it as a land, and it's another part of the spell. So having 4 copies would necessarily mean that you would have a spare early on, which you can just play as a land to increase your mana sources, and at the same time, the late game you can basically top deck this and hard cast for 2 4/4 white angel warrior tokens as a part of the threat. Now going back to the terms of the angels, we also have Legion Angel, which can basically fetch a copy of it from your sideboard or from your outside the game and put it in your hand. So basically you can chain them copies of the Legion Angel as you go around the threats after threats, if ever you get to pump out during your 4th turn, 5th turn, 6th turn. Then in case you would also have this new card from Capenna. This is Sanctuary Warden. This is a 6 to cast 5/5 Angel Soldier with flying, and also can 5/5 a beefy body, but it also comes with 2 shield counters. So when we mention shield counters, if ever an effect would deal lethal damage or destroy this creature, you'll just remove 1 shield counter on it, and it will just live out on that effect. So whenever it enters a battlefield or attacks, it is also an effect that you may remove a counter from a creature you control or a planeswalker you control. So if you do, you can draw a card and create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. It's a mythic now in the set, but given its current price, it's still very cheap. But on this build, it can be very powerful to give you a white card draw effect, and also having a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token, which can later on be a target of your invoke, pasan counters, and any other effects that can be you can use them to become an effective attacker. So for the land distribution, basically we just have 18 planes, Field of Ruin, as 2 copies of Field of Ruin to destroy any other relevant and basic land, maybe a man land from the opponent, or just any land that may become problematic against your deck, and also just a lone copy of Ganju Seat of the Empire for channel effects and make it just another land drop if needed. So as regards summons also, this is just another effect to give counters to your creatures, and having them base power toughness 4/4, or making them basically just a bunch of zero angels in the process, but having only one copy, which means that in any win more effect scenario, you can just basically cast the Cigar summons and beef him up, and then alpha strike and the flying of a bunch of 4/4 angel token effects. So overall, I think this is a great deck tech to try out for MTG Arena, or maybe for just Magic Online, if the cards are already legal to play from New Capenna. Having this total, you check the card distribution, it's just 2 on the average, the most mana cost. So CMC average is 3.59, which is very not necessarily to gain mana screw in the process, but since you only have to play lands and planes, so only worry one color, so this is not really a big issue. So subtypes here, you can just check on artifact, creature, enchantments, mostly of the lands and categories. And also we have these tokens as you use as generated by each of these cards in the deck. So basically you can have a lot of tokens if needed, but then if you're playing online, you just necessarily just generate them for free as an effect of the platform. So overall, I do hope you like this list. If you do, you can just comment or like this video, or just add on your suggestions or the build if ever you would need to just go not only mono white, or maybe just have it in blue white setup, or splashing any other color if needed. You just basically just comment them on this video of the deck tech below in the comment bar. So thank you again for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to know more standard deck techs, Magic the Gathering product opening, and other related stuff. And until the next time.